What if I told you that everything you've been taught about struggle is working against you? What if the harder you fight for money, for health, for love, the more you actually push it away? Because I can tell you one thing right now. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the fight itself.
All right, let me try to get this out properly. There's this book that came out in 1925 in New York. Florence Scovel Shinn, little book, The Game of Life and How to Play It. And the thing is, people tried to kill it. Not with fire or bans or anything dramatic like that. They just laughed it into the corner, called it nonsense, occult garbage for weak minds, pushed it so far into the shadows that most people never even heard of it. But here's why they did that. Because what she was saying wasn't religion. It was mechanics, like actual instructions for how reality works. And if regular people could use this stuff and start creating their own results, money, health, whatever, then a lot of the systems that keep us dependent start looking pretty shaky. You know what I mean? There's this woman, Florence Scovel Shinn, born in the 1800s. She was an artist first, drawing pictures for books and magazines in New York. Then one day, she just switches, starts teaching this wild stuff about how the mind actually works. And in 1925, she puts out this little book called The Game of Life and How to Play It. And I'm telling you, this thing should have been treated like dynamite, because what she says in there is basically, life isn't a struggle, it's a game. And the rules are completely different from what they taught you in school or church or wherever. She says your imagination is the real power, that every word you speak is like placing an order with the universe, and that the second you stop fighting a problem, it starts falling apart on its own. Now here's the part that gets me. The religious people hated it. The scientists laughed at it. Publishers didn't want it. So she had to print it herself. And after that, they didn't ban it. They did something smarter. They just made it look ridiculous. Called it occult nonsense. Crazy lady talking about miracles. Pushed it into the weird section of bookstores so normal people would walk right past it. But the ideas in that book, they're dangerous. Because if she's right, if regular people can actually change their money, their health, their whole life just by using their mind a certain way, then a lot of powerful systems suddenly look unnecessary. And that's why they tried so hard to turn it into a joke. The book is still out there, quiet, waiting. For 100 years, they've been telling us life is a fight, struggle, compete, worry, claw your way up. And Florence was just sitting there going, no, that's the trap. The fighting is what keeps the good stuff away. The more you treat life like a war, the more war you get. She said, your imagination isn't just daydreaming. Every time you clearly see something in your mind, you're literally cutting into another level of reality. She called it the fourth dimension. And the power that makes things happen isn't some god far away on a throne. It's already inside you. Right there, in your own subconscious. Most of the manifestation people today only give you half the story. They go, visualize, think positive, but they forget the dangerous part. If your mind is full of fear and you try to force a new picture on top of it, you don't get a miracle. You get chaos. Your own mind starts fighting itself. That's why so many people try this stuff, get excited for 3 days, then watch everything get worse. Florence knew the way around that. That's the piece they buried. Okay, so the mind, according to her, it's not one thing. It's three departments. First, the subconscious. This thing is like a loyal servant with zero common sense. It just does what it's told. You say, "I always mess everything up," and it goes to work making sure you mess everything up. Right now, for most of us, that servant has taken over. Old fears, old stories, childhood stuff, they're giving the orders and the servant is just following them perfectly. Then there's the conscious mind. That's the thinking part. The one that looks around and only believes what the eyes can see. Empty bank account? It screams poverty. Sick body? It screams disease. And every time it screams, the subconscious hears an order and starts building more of it. And then the superconscious. This is the quiet one. The one that already has the finished version of your life. Money already there. Health already fixed. Problem already solved. Florence said that version is real. It's already done. You're just not looking at it yet. The big mistake we all make is trying to force the subconscious with willpower. We see a problem and go, "I'm gonna muscle my way through this," teeth gritted, affirming while feeling terrified. That tension just tells the subconscious the problem is important, so it keeps it alive. You're pressing gas and brake at the same time. You can't force the fourth dimension into everyday life. You have to let it in. And the way you do that is by stopping the fight. This is the part that sounds completely insane. The law of non-resistance. The only way to beat a problem is to stop fighting it. When you push against something, it pushes back just as hard. That's physics. Same thing with thoughts. Hate your money situation? You're feeding it. Obsess over being alone? You're giving it more life. Whatever you resist gets stronger. Whatever you fear, you invite closer. Non-resistance doesn't mean becoming a doormat. It means you look at the problem and calmly take your energy off it. You stop making it the center of your universe. You get to a place where it doesn't scare you the same way anymore. And that's when it starts falling apart on its own. Without your fear holding it up, it has nothing left. Florence told this story. Woman desperately needed money. Creditors calling. Total panic. Florence didn't say work harder or beg. She said, stop caring so much about the outcome. The woman thought she was crazy, but Florence said the terror itself was the wall. As long as she was vibrating with fear, she was signaling lack to her subconscious. The moment she truly let go, not fake calm, real release. The phone rang. Money showed up from nowhere. Fear and faith are the same energy, just pointed in opposite directions. Non-resistance flips the switch. But once you clear the fear, you have to fill the empty space. Otherwise, the old stuff rushes back harder. That's where casting the burden comes in. Your thinking mind was never built to carry the heavy stuff. Trying to figure everything out yourself just creates more stress. So you hand it over. You say something like, "I cast this burden on the power inside me and I go free." You can change the words, doesn't matter. The point is, you actually give it away. And you have to feel the relief. If you still feel the weight in your chest, you haven't handed it over. You're just talking. There's always a delay. That's the hard part. Most people let go in the morning and by lunch they're checking the bank account again. And the second they start worrying, they've taken the burden back. The higher power just steps aside and lets you carry it again, heavier this time. During that waiting time, you act like it's already handled. Not by doing something stupid, you just carry yourself differently, speak differently, prepare like the answer is already on its way. One woman wanted a house. She cast the burden, then went and bought blankets for a house she didn't have yet. That little action told her subconscious she expected it to appear. And in the quiet, after you really let go, you start getting these calm little nudges, hunches. They don't feel desperate. Ego wants things out of fear. Real guidance just points. Go this way. Call that person. Often makes zero sense. Follow it anyway. One more thing. Keep quiet about what you're doing. Talking too early leaks the energy. Other people's doubt gets in. Florence said, "It's like a steam engine. Power comes from pressure, building in a closed container. Open the valve too soon, you lose the force." Okay, so here's something she says that I haven't really touched on yet, and it still hits hard. She says your word is your wand. Like, literally. Every time you open your mouth, you're waving a magic stick over your life, and most of us are walking around cursing ourselves without even noticing. I'm always broke. Nothing ever works for me. I get sick every winter. The subconscious hears that as a direct order and just starts arranging it. But the wild part is what she says about the words, "I am." Those two words are like the most powerful command you can give. Whatever you put after "I am," your whole system starts trying to become. So if you keep saying, "I am tired, I am unlucky, I am not good with money," you're programming it in deep. She tells people to catch themselves and flip it the second they notice. And then she drops this warning that almost nobody talks about. Once you've spoken the word for something good, stop digging up the seed. Don't keep checking. Don't keep asking, "Where is it?" Every time you dig it up to see if it's growing, you kill it. You have to plant it and walk away like a farmer who trusts the ground. She also says something that feels almost too simple. Bless everything, even the things that look wrong. Instead of resenting the bill, bless it. Instead of hating the person who hurt you, send a quiet blessing, because resentment is like closing the valve on your own good. The moment you start blessing, the flow opens again. That combination, watching your words, protecting the seed, and blessing instead of cursing, that's the part that makes people sit up straight when they finally hear it. So here's the challenge. Pick one hard thing in your life, just one. For the next 7 days, every time fear or resistance shows up, hand it over immediately. No fighting, no spiraling. The second you notice it, give it away and move on. If you catch yourself worrying even for a few minutes, start the 7 days over. Do it clean and watch what happens. Most people won't. They'll try for a day or two, get scared when nothing happens instantly, and go back to fighting. That's why the results stay rare. I'll leave you with the words she used. Infinite Spirit, open the way for the perfect plan of my life to come through. Let the real power inside me wake up. Let me see the clear path. This game isn't won by the people who fight the hardest. It's won by the ones who finally stop fighting, hand the problem over, and let the world rearrange itself around them. Don't forget to subscribe.